Hey Stoic friends, welcome back to my channel. Have you ever hit that point where your blood starts to taste like metal, where someone's words slam into your ribcage like bricks, and you sit there smiling on the outside while your insides scream like a riot? You don't blink, you don't move, but inside, you're setting fire to every memory, every boundary they just shattered. And the sick part, you've trained yourself to call this keeping calm. You've been told to bite your tongue so many times, now you don't even know what your voice sounds like anymore. That's not peace. That's spiritual suffocation. And here's the insanity. Most of the world doesn't even see it. You walk around, haunted by invisible bruises. They see your smile, your calm face, your quiet replies, but they don't hear the chaos bouncing off the walls of your skull. They don't feel the heat burning in your chest when you replay what they said, how they said it, and how you just stood there, dying inside. You don't want revenge. You want release. You want your soul back from the clutches of people who twisted your emotions into knots and left you to untangle them alone. You weren't born angry. You were made this way. By disappointment after disappointment, by fake friends with perfect timing, by relatives who disguised insults as advice, by lovers who peeled your heart open with promises and then spit on it when you were vulnerable, and now you carry that weight everywhere, in your jaw when it tightens, in your fists when they clench in silence, in your gut when someone crosses a line and you pretend it's fine, but it's not. And your body knows it. Your soul knows it. That's not you being mature. That's you bleeding quietly, and it's killing you. Let me tell you something the world never taught you. Anger isn't the problem. It's the way you carry it. It's how you've been trained to either explode and destroy everything, or implode and destroy yourself. But what if I told you there's a third option? A fire that doesn't burn you alive, but forges you into something unbreakable. Stoicism isn't suppression, it's transformation. It's not running from your fire. It's walking through it like a goddamn force of nature, untouched, unbothered, unfazed. When Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay," he wasn't being poetic. He was handing you a sword, a way to make time your shield instead of your prison. This video isn't just advice, it's a resurrection. You've been buried under fake peace and forced smiles for too long. You've let the wrong people camp out in your mind, rent-free, rewriting your worth with every jab, every passive-aggressive dig, every moment they made you question your value. Enough. You're not here to be liked. You're not here to be understood. You're here to master yourself, to take your power back without begging for permission, to stop reacting like a slave and start responding like a warrior. And I'm telling you now, do not skip a second of this. Don't scroll. Don't half listen. Don't treat this like background noise. Because every line here is designed to break open the locked doors in your chest, the ones you haven't opened in years. If you've ever stared at a ceiling at 2 a.m. replaying arguments that never happened, if you've ever wished you said something, done something, been something stronger, this is your moment. This is your turning point. No more bending. No more people-pleasing. No more rewriting your own boundaries to keep the peace for people who thrive on war. You are not here to be a sponge for other people's emotional garbage. You're here to be a fortress, solid, grounded, storm-proof. And if that means cutting off people mid-sentence, walking away mid-relationship, or going silent mid-argument, then so be it. That's not cold. That's calculated peace. So don't just watch, feel this. Let it claw into your chest. Let it shake the sleep off your soul. Like this video if you're done swallowing fire just to keep people warm. Subscribe if you're ready to build emotional armor that nobody can puncture. Share this with someone who's drowning in silence, who needs this roar in their bones. And drop this in the comments like thunder. I choose power, not rage. Not because it sounds good, but because it feels like freedom. Now tighten your grip, straighten your spine. Let the storm rage outside, because inside we're building something no one can touch. Let's begin. Number 1. Your anger is often just unprocessed pain in disguise. You weren't born with a volcano inside you. That rage, it was forged in the dark, smoldering beneath scars no one dared to see. Life didn't hand you anger on a silver platter. You earned it. Every lie whispered behind your back, every hand that pushed you down without a glance, every door slammed shut right when you thought you found a way through. You learned to grit your teeth, to clench your fists, not because you wanted to fight, but because the world hammered you raw until you couldn't be soft anymore. That fire you carry, it's not your soul burning, it's your soul screaming. But peel the skin back, that blistering fury, it's just a masquerade ball where pain wears the mask of anger. The truth is uglier and deeper. It's the hurt you buried so long ago it's become your shadow. The ache of being invisible when you begged for a glance. The sting of trust shattered into shards you didn't see coming. The brutal loneliness wrapped tight inside your ribs. Anger is just the echo of your heart trying to roar after it got silenced. When you lash out, it's not about the moment. It's a rerun of every time you got crushed and no one caught you. It's your body's desperate SOS, screaming, "Look at me, I'm still here, but I'm breaking." Every punch thrown, every scream, every cold shoulder, it's pain doing backflips in your chest, flipping the bird to anyone who thinks you're just too angry. You're not angry. You're wrecked and still standing, wearing rage like a battle scar no one can read. Here's the cruel joke. No amount of yelling makes the hurt disappear. Anger is a riptide pulling you under, dragging you to the same shore of betrayal, disappointment, and loss. You attract the same ghosts, people who scratch old wounds open and walk away, unaware or uncaring. You're stuck in a loop, a hell of your own making, because you never sat down with the pain long enough to learn its name. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that defines you." That's not a gentle reminder, it's a hammer to your skull. Because when you blow up from pain, you give the broken parts of your past the steering wheel. You're a hostage to your own history, and every angry outburst is a lock tightening around your throat. But pause, just for a second. Drop the mask, let the silence swallow you. And in that quiet, meet your pain face to face. That's where the war begins. Don't run from it. Don't punch it away. Stand still and look it in the eye, the raw, bleeding wound beneath the noise. Let your chest crack open. Let tears drown the fire. Let your silence roar louder than your screams ever could, because the real fight isn't outside, it's inside. The real power isn't how loud you shout, it's how deeply you dare to feel without breaking. You want to own your life? Then own your pain. Don't hide it behind anger. When you do, that fire turns into light. When you do, you stop being the puppet of your past and become the commander of your soul. Only then does freedom taste real. Number 2, not every battle is yours to fight. You've been sprinting into wars you never signed up for, throwing punches at shadows, bleeding over scraps that don't belong to you. Every sideways glare, every snide remark, every jab thrown without warning, you swallowed it whole and exploded like a live wire. Your peace became a war zone, your calm shattered into shards with every meaningless slight. But listen close. Stoicism doesn't ask you to be a doormat. It teaches a savage freedom, Some fires burn just fine without your gasoline. There's a brutal, savage strength in shutting your mouth and walking away like a ghost no one can catch. When the world throws dirt, you don't fling it back. You rise, untouchable, like a storm that leaves nothing but silence in its wake. You carry inside a fortress no insult can breach. Their chaos is a wildfire they've got to burn alone. It's not your smoke to choke on. Stop handing out your breath, your energy, your fire to those who don't deserve a flicker of your light. You don't owe explanations to fools wearing blinders. You don't need to bend your soul just to prove a point to people who only understand noise. Sometimes silence is a roar that shatters mountains. Sometimes walking away is a fist that knocks down walls. You don't have to fight every dog in the street. Some battles are traps set to bleed your lifeblood dry. Marcus Aurelius threw down the gauntlet. You always have the option of having no opinion. That's not a shrug. It's a nuclear bomb disguised as calm. It's wisdom carving through the nonsense, knowing when to fold the hand, when to drop the rope. Because what's the value of a hollow win that leaves your soul crushed? You're not here to win their approval. You're here to guard your inner kingdom. Your time is a treasure chest locked with iron and fire, and your energy, a currency that burns if wasted. You've been throwing it away like loose change, lighting bonfires for every stray spark of nonsense. But the fiercest warriors know when to retreat. Let others drown in their own flames. You don't have to stand and breathe the smoke that scars your lungs. You've got empires to build, legends to carve, futures to ignite. Don't be the bait that snaps the trap shut. Be the ghost who sees the net, steps past it, and leaves nothing but silence behind. That's the real power. That's savage freedom. That's Stoicism unleashed. Own that, and your peace isn't fragile. It's a raging fortress that devours storms. Number 3. They're not attacking you. They're revealing themselves. When someone spits venom at you, insults that sting like acid, lies slick as oil, or mocking words dropped like grenades, your chest tightens like a fist closing around a knife. Your mind replays the moment, stuck in a relentless loop. What did I do to deserve this? Why am I the target? You feel the heat rising, the urge to lash back, clawing to reclaim your pride, to make them see you're not a punching bag. But here's the wild truth no one tells you. They're not attacking you. They're bleeding themselves onto you. Every jab, every sneer, every stab that lands. It's the cracked mirror of their own shattered soul. They're dragging their own monsters out in the open, projecting shadows of their pain, their envy, their festering insecurities. When they try to belittle you, it's because inside they're screaming small. When they betray, it's not about you. It's the rot inside their own bones, eating away at what's left of their honor. Their fury. It's a raw confession of their chaos, not your battle to bleed for. Once you see that, it's like ripping off a mask that's been suffocating you. You stop gulping down their poison, stop dragging their garbage into your temple. You stop trying to fix a broken mirror that's never been yours to repair. Their venom slides off your skin like acid rain on stone, because you finally see it for what it is. A desperate scream from a wounded soul drowning in its own darkness. Epictetus dropped a bomb. If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Translation: you only get burned if you grab the flame. If you stand back, cold and steady, watching with unflinching eyes, you become untouchable, a force of nature no insult can breach. You don't owe explanations to ghosts wrestling their own demons. You don't have to armor up for battles that aren't yours. You are no one's battlefield, no one's scapegoat. You are a mountain standing tall while storms rage and lightning crashes around you. So next time the storm hits, freeze the moment. Look past the rage to the cracked soul behind the mask. Instead of diving into the fire, whisper to yourself, "This isn't about me. It's their war, their wounds." That's the sharp pivot where you stop being prey and start becoming the predator of your own fate. That's how you guard your spirit, own your power, and break free. Number 4, reactions are impulsive, responses are powerful. When anger slams into your chest, it's like a beast ripping its cage open inside your ribs. Your pulse races like thunder pounding through a storm. Breath hitches. Thoughts explode like fireworks, wild, uncontrollable, burning out before you even know what you said. Your mouth spits venom you didn't plan, words slicing like shattered glass. That's a reaction, a brutal takeover, a hijacking of your mind by raw instinct and gut fury. You're not the driver. You're the passenger, hurtling toward destruction. The fire owns you. You're the flame's puppet and it's pulling every string. But response? Response is the weapon forged in silence. It's the cold, hard rock dropped into a blazing wildfire, turning chaos into control. The difference between losing yourself in the blaze and mastering the inferno comes down to one brutal act: the pause. The pause, that fraction of a breath where the world stills and you choose. To lash out like a beast, or to breathe, step back, and own the moment like a king. That pause is your rebellion against weakness. It's the battlefield where you wrest back control from the screaming hellstorm inside. This isn't some soft surrender, it's raw, savage self-command, because nothing feels sweeter than the rush of revenge, the sharp bite of retaliation. The ego screams for it. It begs you to explode. But a warrior, a real soul forged in hardship, they know that fire is a trickster. The real power is holding the flame in your hand, not letting it burn you alive. Seneca drilled this into the ages. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. That boiling rage, that's your proving ground. Not a moment to lash out and break someone, but the sacred forge where you prove you've transcended the primal chaos. You're not a slave to your emotions. You are the storm's master. Anyone can scream. Anyone can throw punches with fists or fury. But how many can stand still in the eye of the hurricane, breathing slow, eyes cold, soul untouched, when the world tries to break them? That is rare. That is power that rattles bones and echoes into eternity. That's the relentless fire of Stoicism, quiet but volcanic, eternal but unseen. So next time your blood boils and the heat claws at your throat, resist the primal scream. Don't dive headfirst into the chaos. Freeze time, drop the flame, breathe the silence. Then strike with a response so precise, so fierce, it doesn't just win the moment, it conquers you. Number 5. Your peace is too expensive to be traded for ego. Your peace isn't some casual thing you pick up on a whim and toss aside like yesterday's trash. It's a war trophy carved out of the rawest hellfires you've survived. Every scar etched on your skin, every sleepless night spent wrestling demons in the shadows, every shattered piece of your soul you painstakingly glued back together. That's the currency you're carrying. And now, here you are, ready to throw it all in the gutter because some reckless driver cut you off. Because a faceless troll spat venom at you online. Because some ignorant stranger dared to disrespect a soul forged in storms they'll never understand. That's insanity masquerading as ego, and it's the most expensive self-betrayal you could ever commit. peace. This precious demands a warrior's guard, not the fool's tantrum of pride. Make no mistake, this calm inside you isn't a delicate flower. It's a goddamn fortress, raised on the bones of every heartbreak, every betrayal, every brutal truth you swallowed alone. And every time you snap, every time you feed the beast of your ego, you cash in that treasure like it's play money. For what? A snarky comeback that evaporates faster than morning mist. A momentary illusion of power that leaves you emptier than before. You're gambling with your soul, betting it all on a worthless hand, and the house always wins. That isn't strength. That's a sucker's game. Marcus Aurelius didn't just say, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." He lived it like a battle cry. This isn't philosophy. It's a war manual for the mind, a weapon forged in the trenches of chaos. Your inner world is your empire, an unbreakable citadel where no storm can penetrate unless you open the gates. You hold the keys. The noise outside, it's just static. You are the signal. You are the storm's eye. Calm, devastating, unshakable. People will try to drag you into their circus, ignite your fire, make you dance on the edge of madness. But here's the savage truth. Those moments are traps, baited hooks meant to bleed your spirit dry. You don't have to bite. You don't have to dive into every damn fight thrown your way. The boldest, most chaotic rebellion is silence. The most earth-shattering power is doing nothing at all when the world demands a scream. That stillness is your nuclear bomb, a quiet explosion that leaves chaos crushed beneath your feet and leaves your enemies guessing. Calm isn't weakness. It's a relentless predator disguised in stillness. Guard your peace like the last flame in a world gone dark. Protect it like a sacred relic, because that's what it is. Your lifeblood, your sanity, your throne. When your mind is calm, it slices through bullshit like a razor. Your heart becomes a furnace of fierce love, and your vision becomes the laser focus of a predator locked on its prize. Peace doesn't just make you whole, it turns you into a god walking among mortals. So when your ego snarls, ready to rip and tear, when your blood screams for vengeance, when the primal urge to lash out claws at your throat, stop. Breathe fire and ice. Ask yourself this without mercy. Am I really going to trade my immortal soul for the hollow ashes of petty revenge? Choose the relentless power of restraint. Choose the untouchable fortress of peace. Choose yourself, standing tall above the chaos, untamed, undefeated, forever free. Number 6. They don't deserve that kind of power over you. Every time you let your temper explode, you hand over the keys to your kingdom without a fight. You don't see it, but they do, those vultures circling, waiting for you to lose it, because in your meltdown, they feast, not with a grin plastered on their face, no. Their victory is a dark, silent roar in the pit of their stomach. They know they've pulled your strings, turned you into a puppet dancing on the edge of their twisted stage. One insult is their needle, one reaction, your bloodletting. One lie is the poison they drip into your veins, one rejection the hammer smashing your fortress walls. This isn't strength, it's a goddamn cage, and you're the prisoner. Their prison is built from your fury, your chaos, your loss of control. But here's the savage truth Stoicism throws like a bomb in the face of weakness. If they didn't forge your peace in the fires of your soul, they get zero say in shattering it. That fortress inside you, it's built on bones, sweat, pain, and victory. It's no playground for their petty games. You are not some cheap toy tossed around by exes, haters, or faceless trolls in the abyss of the internet. You are no mere chess piece in their childish battles. No one. Not that bitter X-dripping venom, not the loudmouth critic screaming from the shadows, not the stranger behind a screen, deserves to invade your mind, your nervous system, your sacred inner realm. Your power is yours. It is a blazing inferno you guard fiercely, not a candle flickering at their whim. Take back your power by cutting every string they hold. When they try to pull you into their pit, stare them dead in the eye with nothing but silence. Not because you're scared, not because you're weak, because you're a monster who's transcended the savage urge to prove your worth to children playing with fire. You are a titan whose strength is born from silence, from cold, unbreakable calm. Zeno of Citium carved this truth into time. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. The fiercest battle is the one inside. The first tyrant you kill is emotional slavery. Let them scream their lies into the void. Let them twist your words into grotesque shadows. Let them drown in their chaos while you sit back, steady as a volcano ready to erupt, sipping your water like a god drinking liquid steel, your eyes locked on your path. Their madness is not your war. Their venom is not your wound. When you refuse to dance on their strings, you cut off their oxygen. Their words turn into hollow echoes. Their poisonous games die a slow death, lifeless and pointless, because you've risen above the mud pit they're still drowning in. And when that shift ignites inside you, it's a cataclysm. You don't just stand taller, you become a colossus striding over a battlefield of broken dreams. You don't just grow stronger, you become an unstoppable force, a storm that devours the weak. You don't just feel lighter, you shed the shackles dragging you into darkness. You breathe free, untamed, because you're no longer the flame they try to burn down. You are the wildfire that consumes their ashes. You are the chaos they can't control. You are unstoppable. You are immortal. Number 7. Your calm is your message to the world. Look, real power doesn't scream. It doesn't claw for attention like a rabid beast starving for scraps. Real power moves like a shadow sliding through a blood-soaked night, quiet, deadly, and impossible to catch. Think about the most monstrous forces you've ever seen. Were they the ones throwing tantrums, breaking chairs, shouting their lungs out? Or were they the ones with eyes like ice, a calm so deep it swallowed chaos whole and spit out silence like a razor? That cold, volcanic calm. That's the wildfire burning in your veins when you learn not to lose your mind, but to own it, master it, weaponize it. Your calm is not a pause. It's a war drum echoing beneath a frozen surface no one dares to crack. The world's gone mad. Everyone's snapping, like a pack of wild dogs fighting over scraps of outrage. Every insult a fresh wound, every slight a call to arms. The air is thick with smoke from burning bridges, with the screams of those addicted to conflict, starving for drama like junkies chasing the next high. But you are the eye of this cyclone. Your calm is an earthquake waiting to shatter the brittle illusion that rage equals strength. They expect you to explode, to feed the fire, but you starve it instead. Silence becomes your battle cry, your middle finger raised to the chaos they live to create. In your calm, they see their own weakness. They see their madness reflected in your icy mirror, and it terrifies them. This isn't surrender. This isn't hiding. It's the brutal, savage art of control. It's you telling the world, I am so damn solid inside, your venom bounces off me like rain on steel. They try to bait you with their lies, their venom, their desperate screams, but you're a ghost slipping through the cracks of their rage. You have transcended the puppet strings of emotional puppetry. You are no one's puppet anymore. You are the puppeteer watching their strings burn in your hands, flickering out like dying embers. You've climbed out of the inferno and come back colder, sharper, a force no fire can touch. That calm you wear isn't fake. It's forged in the furnace of your scars, your battles, your sleepless nights filled with ghosts of doubt and pain. It radiates discipline, laser-sharp focus, and a vision so clear it cuts through the noise like a knife through fog. It is the armor of someone who survived hell and came back unbreakable, a mountain rising from volcanic ash. Marcus Aurelius's words are your mantra. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. This is not mercy. This is war. This is becoming the unbreakable fortress when they expect to find a broken ruin. Your calm is your war banner, your unspoken scream that you are beyond their petty games, a god walking among mortals. Let them rage, let them scream, let them throw stones drenched in venom. You keep building your empire in silence, brick by bloodied brick, patience forged in pain. Nothing, no hatred, no chaos, no storm, can shake the foundation of a soul that carved peace from madness itself. Let them run wild in their chaos. You walk silent. You walk immortal. You have been a battlefield, scarred, battered, bloodied by the endless war inside your mind. Anger was your armor, rage your weapon, but now that armor is cracking, splintering under the weight of something fiercer, silence so thick it suffocates their noise. This silence isn't empty. It's a roaring beast sleeping inside your chest, ready to devour every last echo of your old self that fed on chaos. You've felt the shift, the tremor beneath your skin when peace rises like a goddamn tidal wave, smashing every excuse to react, every chain forged from bitterness and fury. This is no gentle rebirth. It's a volcanic eruption inside your soul, burning the bridge between the man you were and the force you are becoming. The world expects fireworks, tantrums, explosions, but you give them the unshakable calm of a killer waiting in the shadows, the calm of a god who sees their noise as nothing but a flicker before the abyss. Your silence will crush their chaos like a hammer on glass. Your stillness will slice through the madness like a blade soaked in ice and fire. Feel that fire licking at your ribs, setting ablaze every old wound that once whispered weakness. This is the birth of a new, savage calm, an untouchable fortress forged from scars, sleepless nights, and blood-poured lessons. You are no longer a puppet dragged by the strings of emotion. You are the puppeteer burning the strings with a savage grin. You are the storm's calm eye, the god who walks away from the chaos while it screams in your wake. If these words ignite a wildfire inside your veins, don't let it die in silence. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Blast this anthem into the world's ears. Carry this raging calm like a war banner stitched into your flesh. This isn't some weak philosophy. It's a brutal manifesto carved into your bones. This is war. This is peace. This is the savage, relentless you, unbroken, wild, unstoppable. This is Stoicism, roaring from the ashes of your former self. This is your damn throne.